They call golf a gentleman's game. Until tempers flare, lines get crossed, and respect leaves the chat.
Oh man, can you imagine if Scheffler buries this one?
You come and support your team.
No, I mean, I can't say sorry enough about that.
Here are the most disrespectful moments in golfing history. Starting at a moment so gross it left fans gagging. We're at the 07 WGC with our favourite controversial figure, Sergio Garcia. After missing a shot putt on the 13th green, Garcia shocked everyone with some, let's say, questionable sanitation decisions.
There's nothing to it. It's just, missed the putt and I wasn't too happy. I didn't spit, I just let it go down, but anyway, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, you can't do that. It's revolting and very disrespectful to say the least. The next group playing will be dropping their balls in that cup in a few minutes, for crying out loud. That sounded dirty. I like it. I'd also like it if you could like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Much appreciated. Anyway, moving on. Garcia's mouth got him in trouble once again 6 years later when he made a very unsavory comment towards the GOAT of GOATs, Tiger Woods. At a behind-closed-doors black tie event, Garcia was asked whether or not he'd have Tiger over for dinner at an upcoming tournament, which he jokingly replied, "We will have him round every night. We will serve fried chicken." Unsavory, disrespectful, or let's just call it what it is, racist. And Tiger, he swiftly responded on Twitter, "The comment that was made wasn't silly, it was wrong, hurtful, and clearly inappropriate. I'm confident that there is real regret that the remark was made." Thankfully, Sergio did apologize for the comment.
By the question, but don't get me wrong, I understand that my answer was totally stupid and out of place, and I can't say sorry enough about that.
From words that crossed lines to actions that erased them. It's the 2024 President's Cup at Royal Montreal. The matches are tight, the atmosphere is loud. Tom Kim lines up a 30-footer on the 7th. And Scheffler does the same.
What was that?
What was that? Scottie screams in the international pair's direction. Very tense match play to say the least. And that's just the beginning, because at the very next hole, Kim drops another one.
Can he do it again?
Scottie's turn to answer, only something isn't quite right.
Oh man, can you imagine if Scheffler buries this one?
Yeah. He makes this. This will piss off Scottie if they're not right there.
Instead of waiting to see if Scheffler buries his putt and gets back in their face, the pair had walked 60 yards off to the next tee. Now, anyone who knows golf will know that that is both unsportsmanlike and incredibly disrespectful. Rule 1 of respect, you wait till every ball's down. McGinley subbed it up perfectly on the broadcast. That's disrespectful in my opinion. I know it's competitive out there, but it certainly shows you there's an underlying edge here that it's not all fun and games. Not the greatest showing from the international duo there. From emotional to explosive, we rewind the clock 5 years to a previous President's Cup tournament down in Melbourne, Australia, where Kessler Kerrane, Patrick Reed's caddy, found himself in hot water. After an altercation with a fan, Kerrane was thrown out of the tournament. Sadly, there's no footage of the incident occurring, but Kessler's statement certainly sheds some light. As a caddy, one of your jobs is to protect your player. And unlike several other sports, in golf, fans can get pretty close to athletes. We've been known for having some fun and some good banter, but after hearing several fans in Australia for 3 days, some had taken it too far. I had enough, and this gentleman was one of them. Riding on the cart, guy was about 3 feet from Patrick and said, "You fucking suck." I got off the cart and shoved him, said a couple of things, probably a few expletives. Security came and I got back in the cart and left. I don't think there's one caddy I know that could blame me. Unless his bones break like Mr. Glass, the most harm done was a little beer spilled, which I'm more than happy to reimburse him for. He sure sounds sorry. Disrespect went both ways that day, but I dare say the fan won the round. You can't put hands on a civilian like that, Karain. Point him out, get security to handle it. Your hands are tied, I'm afraid. Next up, we're at the 03 Colonial Invitational with big Vijay Singh back in the spotlight. Only this time, he wasn't complaining about something trivial, he was straight up being sexist. The thing is, Annika Sorenstam was competing. The first woman in 58 years to play in a PGA Tour event. She deserved to be there. Everyone was stoked for her, everyone except Vijay, who had this to say. I hope she misses the cut. Why? Because she doesn't belong out here. If I'm drawn with her, which I won't be, I won't play. I don't know what the f*** went through the big man's head, but you can't say shit like that, mate. He tried to backtrack and say his comments were out of context, but in my opinion, I don't buy that. He knew what he was saying, it was sexist, it was derogatory, it was disrespectful, and it was arrogant. And the irony is that he didn't even end up playing anyway. He had an injury or some shit. Sucks to be you, big fella. Alright, here's where the video takes a turn, because the Ryder Cup, especially the most recent one, which I'll get to shortly, has had its fair share of disrespectful moments. Naturally, I have to start with the infamous storming of the green back at the Battle of Brookline in '99. After Justin Leonard drained a monster pit across the green, the place erupted. Problem was, Olazábal still had his putt left to keep Europe in the fight. The match wasn't over. Unfortunately for him, he missed it. Whether the premature celebrations had anything to do with it is anyone's guess. I feel like you wouldn't be human if that hadn't rattled you to some extent though. Naturally, the '99 Ryder Cup became infamous overnight for the blatant disrespect shown in this penultimate moment. Brookline was bad, but the much more recent 2025 edition, it made '99 look like a tea party. Because things went from passionate to poisonous in record time. Things started off lightly enough, a bit of banter, some playful heckling, but that tone didn't last long. Moments later, comedian Heather McMahon, acting as MC on the first tee, said the unthinkable over the loudspeakers. Let me just put that on a little loop in case you missed it. It was supposed to be funny. It wasn't. That single moment opened the floodgates for the ugliest and most disrespectful behavior golf's ever seen. As play went on, tensions on the course started bubbling over. Even the caddies got into it. Roses and DeChambeau's to be exact.
Look at Ted Scott. Ted Scott is irritated big time. And that is Francesco Molinari.
No offense, Bryson, but it's easy to say, let's play, when you're not the one copping it. Because it's about to get so much worse. Also, quick side note, I don't think he'd take offense. He'd probably say something like,
"A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep."
yeah, I'll shut the f*** up and get back to it. The Ryder Cup has historically prided itself on decorum, class, and passion. But after having abuse hurled at him all day, McIlroy didn't shy away from hurling some back after draining a clutch putt. Next hole, same story.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
If this was any other sport, the crowd might have expected it. But golf? Yeah, that caught a few people off guard. And if you're thinking it can't have gotten worse than that, guess again. Security swarmed, fans booed, and the air turned more sour than it already was, if that was even possible. The hits kept coming from Rory too. One particular fan hurled a homophobic slur at him and was stupid enough to record it. Another was kicked out after Shane Lowry was held back from confronting him. Every hole felt heavier. The players couldn't even line up putts without constant noise.
I think Rory's looking at the referee now, just asking people to settle down.
By the time play wrapped up, the Europeans were done being polite. And Rory was not going to hold back by the time he got to the press conference.
I'll engage and sometimes I'll catch myself and refrain, but I don't I don't really choose.
I don't know about you, but that is one exhausted looking man. Don't blame him. By the end of the tournament, Europe had won, and they didn't shy away from rubbing it in with some carefully aimed celebrations.
Are you watching Donald Trump? Are you watching Donald Trump?
Not to mention some serious party bus action. This shit was a vibe. With the dust finally settled, many critics have called it the most toxic and disrespectful Ryder Cup in history. It's a tournament that's supposed to bring two sides together. In 2025, it tore them apart. From Augusta locker rooms to Rome's grandstands, one thing's clear. Golf might call itself a gentleman's game, but even gentlemen have limits. If you want to see other golfers who party hard but still get the job done, click here. I'll see you soon, and as always, thanks for watching.